The story of Revelation begins with John, an old man exiled to the rocky island of Patmos for his faith. Far from the comforts of home, John's days are marked by isolation, the sound of waves crashing against the rocks, his only company. Yet even in this desolate place, his spirit remains unbroken. Alone and separated from his community, John receives a vision that will shape history. The silence of exile becomes the backdrop for a message destined to echo through centuries. On the Lord's day, he hears a voice like a trumpet, an invitation to witness heaven's mysteries. The sound is clear and commanding, breaking through the loneliness and calling him to attention. He's told to write what he sees and send it to 7 churches. Each word he pens is meant to travel far beyond the shores of Patmos, carrying hope and warning alike. Revelation means unveiling. It pulls back the curtain between our world and the spiritual realm. Through John's eyes, we glimpse a reality greater than what we see, a world where the divine and the human meet. Christians then faced persecution and needed hope. Many lived in fear, uncertain of what the future would bring, longing for reassurance that their suffering was not in vain. John's vision was a lifeline, a promise that God is in control, even in chaos. It reminded them that faith could endure, even when the world seemed to crumble. This letter, born from hardship, is meant to encourage the weary and strengthen the fearful. Its words are a balm for troubled hearts, offering comfort and courage to those who feel alone. Its symbols and imagery aren't meant to scare, but to reveal God's greatness and the certainty of his promises. Each vision is a reminder that there is meaning and purpose even in mystery. It's a story of hope, triumphing over despair, life over death, and love over all. The message is clear. Light will always break through the darkness. No matter how dark the world seems, Revelation assures us there's a steady hand guiding history. We are not abandoned. There is a purpose unfolding even when we cannot see it. As we enter this book, remember, it's a message from exile, meant to inspire courage. It calls us to stand firm, to find hope in the midst of uncertainty. The vision begins not with power, but with a faithful man and a message for all. It's a reminder that even the most unlikely places can become the stage for something extraordinary. The journey starts here, on a lonely island with a vision that still speaks today, inviting us to listen, to hope, and to see beyond what is visible. John turns heart-pounding to see the source of the voice that echoes through the ancient chamber. He beholds the Son of Man, Jesus, but not as he remembered. Now Jesus stands before him, glorified beyond earthly comprehension. His hair is white as wool, pure and ancient, his eyes blazing like fire, seeing through all things. His voice thunders like the roar of rushing waters, commanding attention and awe. His face shines with a brilliance like the sun at its peak, radiating divine glory that fills the room. He stands among 7 golden lampstands, each one representing the 7 churches, symbols of his care and presence among his people. Jesus is present with his people, holding their destiny in his hand, their future secure in his grasp. Overwhelmed by the vision, John falls at his feet in awe and reverence, unable to stand before such majesty. But Jesus reaches out, his voice gentle and reassuring. "Do not be afraid, I am the first and the last. I was dead, and now I am alive forevermore." In his hand, Jesus holds the keys of death and Hades, signifying ultimate authority over life, death, and the fate of all creation. This vision makes it clear who truly reigns, not Rome, not darkness, but Christ alone, sovereign over all powers. Before any visions of turmoil or chaos, we see the King, glorified, victorious, and infinitely compassionate. He will guide John through the coming revelations, never leaving him alone in the mystery. The book unfolds under his authority. Every word and vision is under his control. He alone determines the story's end. The message is unmistakable. Jesus is with his people, sovereign over history, guiding them through every trial. The vision is overwhelming, yet it's meant to comfort, to remind us that we are never alone, no matter how great the darkness. The King stands among his churches, never distant, always present, always watching over his people. The story of Revelation is anchored in this unshakable truth. Christ reigns now and forever. Everything that follows flows from this moment of divine encounter, a vision that changes everything. In a moment of revelation, Jesus gives John messages for 7 real churches, personal letters filled with both encouragement and warning, written to communities facing real struggles and choices. These letters are not abstract, they address the unique realities, hopes and failures of each church. Each letter begins with a title from the opening vision, carefully tailored to each church's situation, reminding them who Jesus is and what he offers in their specific context. Jesus says, "I know your deeds." He sees both strengths and weaknesses, the hidden struggles and the quiet victories that others might miss. Some churches, like Smyrna and Philadelphia, are praised for their faithfulness under pressure, holding fast even when facing hardship and opposition. He promises them reward and security for their endurance, assuring them that their perseverance will not go unnoticed or unrewarded. Others, like Ephesus and Laodicea, are warned. Ephesus has lost its first love. Laodicea is lukewarm and self-satisfied, blind to its own need for change. Jesus calls for repentance and renewed passion, inviting them to return to what truly matters and rekindle their devotion. These letters reveal what Jesus values: genuine love, perseverance, purity, and a passionate heart that seeks to serve others and remain faithful. He warns against compromise, pride, and indifference, urging his followers to choose the harder, better path. Each letter ends with a promise to those who overcome, glimpses of a glorious future filled with hope and restoration. These messages aren't just ancient history, they challenge us today, speaking across centuries to our own lives and communities. They urge us to examine our hearts and listen to what the Spirit is saying, prompting us to reflect on our own faith and actions. The letters call us to faithfulness, even when it's hard, reminding us that perseverance shapes our character and future. Jesus walks among his churches, caring deeply for each one, guiding and supporting them through every season. The challenge remains for us today. Will we recognize his voice and respond with open hearts and willing lives? John's vision shifts to heaven's throne room, brilliant, thunderous, and awe-inspiring. At the center, God sits enthroned, surrounded by worship. In his hand is a scroll sealed with 7 seals, the story of the future. No one is found worthy to open it, and John weeps. But then the Lion of Judah, the slain Lamb, appears. Jesus, both Lion and Lamb, is worthy to open the scroll. Heaven erupts in praise. By his sacrifice he has redeemed people from every nation. As the Lamb opens the seals, suffering unfolds: conquest, war, famine, death. These are the consequences of human rebellion, not just divine wrath. The seals reveal martyrs crying for justice and cosmic upheaval. God's plan allows history's pain, but it moves toward redemption. The scroll's opening is the beginning of the end, God's justice and mercy on display. The Lamb's victory ensures the story will reach its promised conclusion. John sees a woman clothed with the sun, God's people, through whom salvation comes. A red dragon, Satan, waits to destroy her child, but the child, Jesus, is taken to God's throne. The dragon, defeated in heaven, is cast to earth and turns his fury on the woman. God protects her, symbolizing his care for his people amid persecution. The dragon summons 2 beasts, one from the sea, corrupt power, one from the earth, false religion. These beasts demand worship and deceive many, forming an unholy trinity with the dragon. The vision exposes the spiritual battle behind history, evil powers opposing God's people, yet God's protection and ultimate victory are assured. The struggle is real, but the outcome is certain. The faithful are called to resist deception and endure. John sees 2 harvests, one of salvation, one of judgment. The Lamb stands on Mount Zion with the redeemed, marked as God's own. They sing a new song, symbolizing victory and purity. Then angels reap the earth's grapes, an image of judgment on evil. The winepress of God's wrath is a sobering picture. Sin has consequences. The vision is not literal, but a warning of the finality of God's justice. Everyone is part of one harvest or the other. There's no middle ground. The time to choose is now. The call. Turn to the Lamb and be among the redeemed. The harvest reveals both the hope of salvation and the reality of judgment. Heaven opens, and a white horse appears. Its rider is faithful and true, the word of God. This is Jesus, now returning as conquering king and righteous judge. His eyes blaze, his robe is dipped in blood, and he wears many crowns. Armies of heaven follow him, but the battle is brief. The beast and false prophet are captured and thrown into the lake of fire. The rebellious armies are defeated by the sword from the king's mouth. Satan is bound and cast into the abyss for 1,000 years. Evil's power is broken. Christ's reign of peace begins. The long-awaited victory is here, justice and righteousness established. The King of Kings claims his kingdom at last. The story's climax, evil ends and the rightful ruler reigns. The promise of ultimate triumph is fulfilled. After judgment, John sees a new heaven and a new earth. No more chaos, no more separation. The holy city, New Jerusalem, descends, God's people's eternal home. God dwells with humanity. The broken relationship is fully restored. Every tear is wiped away. No more death, mourning, or pain. The old order is gone. Everything is made new. The city shines with gold and precious stones, illuminated by God's glory. There's no need for sun or moon. The Lamb is its light. A river of life flows from the throne with the tree of life on each side. Its leaves heal the nations, a symbol of eternal peace and wholeness. The vision is of perfect, joyful life with God forever. The story that began in a garden ends in a garden city. God's promise is fulfilled. He lives with his people and all things are made new. This is the hope at the heart of Revelation. What does Revelation mean for us now? Above all, it's a message of hope. God is on the throne. History is moving toward a glorious conclusion. This gives us courage to face uncertainty, knowing who holds the future. Revelation calls us to faithfulness, to live with passion and integrity. It reminds us there's a spiritual battle. Our choices matter. Suffering is not a sign of God's absence, but part of redemption's story. Justice will come. Every tear will be wiped away. The book ends with an invitation to come, take the free gift of the water of life. The story that began in a garden ends in a city where God dwells with his people. Hope is restored, relationships mended, the world made new. The King is coming. He invites us to be part of his new creation.